Before she remembered who she was, they called her many things. Beautiful. Delicate. A dream. But no one asked her name. No one saw the fire. They only saw the crown of flowers on her head, not the soil beneath her feet. Her name was Lina. And for most of her life, she lived as though she were waiting. Waiting to be chosen. To be understood. To be told she was enough. But deep inside her, where the wild things grew, something ancient waited too. Lina grew up in a town where everything looked perfect on the outside. White fences, trimmed hedges, polite smiles. She learned early how to be the girl they wanted. She said thank you when she wanted to scream. She wore soft colors so she wouldn't take up too much space. She learned how to be lovely, but not how to be whole. She braided her hair each morning and tucked wildflowers behind her ear, not because she liked the way they looked, but because people smiled when they saw them. She became an expert at curating herself. Even when her soul was wilting. She kept a journal beneath her mattress. One no one ever saw. In it, she wrote things that didn't rhyme, didn't sound nice, didn't smile. Words like, what if I never feel real? Why does love feel like disappearing? Where did the wild part of me go? Every night she would write and tuck it back in the dark. And every day she would put on her smile and step into the light. But even flowers know, too much sun and no rain will make them wither. The night everything began to change wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was a quiet storm, the kind that comes with no lightning, only the kind of rain that soaks the world slowly and seeps into the roots. Lina stood at her window, watching the waterfall, and for the first time, she didn't rush to close it. She let the rain touch her skin. Let the wind undo her careful braid. And it whispered something she hadn't heard in years. Come back to yourself. She didn't know what that meant, not yet. But her chest ached in a way that told her something buried had just stirred. That night, she opened her journal and didn't just write. She tore out the pages and left them scattered across the floor. Let them be wild. Let them be seen. And she cried, not the silent tears of polite sadness, but the kind of cry that cracked open everything. When she finally slept, she dreamt of a field she hadn't seen since childhood. A place where the grass was taller than her knees. Where the wind sang. Where wildflowers grew without asking for permission. And in the center of it, a girl stood barefoot, holding out her hand. She looked like Lina, but unafraid. Leaving isn't always about geography. Sometimes it's about walking away from a version of yourself that no longer fits. Lina didn't pack bags or make announcements. She simply woke up one morning and decided she wouldn't shrink anymore. She wore red. She said no. She left texts on read. She stopped explaining her softness, or her storms. People noticed. Some called it a phase. Others called her selfish. But Lina didn't flinch. Because for the first time, the noise outside was quieter than the voice inside her. And it said, grow. So she walked. Past old friends who only knew the surface. Past lovers who mistook her heart for a canvas they could paint on. Past the mirror that once made her doubt herself. She walked until the field from her dreams stood before her. Real. Untamed. Waiting. And when she stepped into it, the earth didn't ask her to be anything but true. The field wasn't empty. It was full of echoes. Full of other girls who had lost and found themselves here. There was a circle. No leader. Just women, barefoot, muddy, radiant. Each carrying something she had buried. Each ready to bloom. Lina didn't speak at first. She listened. To laughter that didn't need permission. To stories that didn't end in shame. To music made without melody, just rhythm and feeling. And then when her time came, she stepped forward. Unbraided. Unfiltered. Unfinished. She held her own hand. And said, I'm not here to be delicate. I'm here to remember. The circle didn't clap. They nodded. Because they knew. Healing wasn't performance. It was presence. And the wildflowers, they bloomed louder than ever. Years later, they'll still speak of her. The girl with flowers in her hair. But this time, they'll know her name. They'll say she was bold. That she walked away from almost lives and half-loves. That she chose the field over the stage. That she became the storm. the soil, the bloom. And if you listen closely, when the wind dances through tall grass, you'll hear her laughter. Still wild, still blooming, still home.